Magnets and magnetism. Question 1. The area around a magnet is called magnetic field. The Earth has a magnetic field. What causes the Earth's magnetic field? Tick one box. So we have to tick one box, and we have to say what causes the Earth's magnetic field. Okay, so it's a tick box question. Really nice one, this, because it deals with a very common misconception. And the common misconception is that there is a permanent magnet in the Earth's core. Quite often we see diagrams with a bar magnet placed in the Earth's interior. That's not the case. Okay, that's not the case. There isn't a permanent magnet there. The gravitational field of the Earth, well, it's got nothing to do with gravity at all. So magnetism and gravity aren't connected. What it is connected to is it is connected to the movement of liquid iron in the Earth's outer core. So that is the correct answer. And the reason that is if you can remember that this term electromagnetism. Okay, so electromagnets, what we get is the iron core moves around, and as it does so, it carries a current. So that movement makes a current, and it's the current then that induces a magnetic field around it, which is the Earth's outer core, which is the Earth's magnetic field. Part B. Look at figure 1. What will happen in each case when the poles of the two magnets are brought close together? Okay, so the poles of two magnets brought close together. So the first one we've got here, opposite poles brought together, what do? So the opposites, south and north, or north and south. The key word here is opposite poles brought together, they attract each other. Okay, if you said pull together, I'm sure that might be okay, but the key word is attract. And the same poles brought together, so opposites attract and likes repel. So they repel each other, probably is what I'm okay, I'm just going to add that to make sure that I get full credit. Okay, question, part C, sorry. Part C, figure 2 shows an electromagnet being used to lift a car in a scrapyard. Okay, we've got the electromagnet attached to there, it's lifting the car up, there's a crane. An electromagnet is a solenoid. A solenoid is a coil of wire. Explain why it is better to use an electromagnet rather than a permanent magnet in the scrapyard. You should include a comparison of the properties of electromagnets and permanent magnets in your answer. Okay, so as soon as we've got to explain why there, and we need to include, as soon as it says you should include, then really what it's saying is you have to include. It's worth 4 marks, so I'm underlining the number of marks. What are the key bits of information? It's better to use an electromagnet rather than a permanent magnet. A comparison of properties of electromagnets and permanent magnets. It's worth 4 marks, so 1, 2, 3, 4 bullet points. Okay, so explain. Remember, whenever I see an explain question, first of all, I imagine it's a describe plus song. First of all, describe. So, permanent magnets. I'm going to describe what a permanent magnet is. Permanent magnets have a permanent magnetic field. And what do I mean by that? Well, they can't be switched off. They cannot be turned off. Okay, so permanent magnets have a permanent magnetic field. They cannot be turned off. Electromagnets. Electromagnets can be turned off. Turned off by switching the current off. Okay, so first of all, I've described their properties. I might say here that that in terms of magnets, the bits of the car, so magnets attract to, so magnets will attract, I can remember the metals, so iron, steel, cobalt, or nickel in the car. And what's so good about the permanent magnet? Well, what's so good about electromagnets? I've got the properties here of my magnets. What's so good about the electromagnets? Electromagnets can be used to pick up cars. So pick up magnetic metals and drop them when switched off. Okay, that's good. So whereas we know permanent magnets can't. What else could we say? We could also, I'm just thinking about extra marks here, or extra things you might say. You can also say you can vary the strength of an electromagnet by varying the current. So you might decide that that you want to do that in a scrapyard. So this could be useful for scrap. This could be useful for scrapyard. So if you're picking up something heavy, a big car, a little car, then you can do that. Okay, so lots of ways there to get those 4 marks. Okay, I hope that's useful.